gas up the Jeep, it's good to be free. Load up the pans and fishing poles. The highway is long, the wheels turning round. Pack up the cook stove and the bowls. Arlo and I, we hit the open road. Arlo and I are on the road.
Hey everybody, Arlo and I are out and about again today, and we're out looking for some mushrooms. Now, it's funny, I started out this day making a completely different video. We haven't had any rain for the last week or so, and everything's been drying out. And the only mushrooms that I've seen around lately are some dried out slippery jacks. So my plan was to come out and grab some of those slippery jacks and make a fun recipe with it. And I'm still going to do that, and I'm probably going to post that recipe first. So just scroll back a little bit and you'll see the recipe that I decided to make with the slippery jacks. You know, I got out here and I drove a little higher in elevation, and all of a sudden I noticed that there were mushrooms popping everywhere. All of a sudden, I was just out here 2 or 3 days ago, and there was nothing. There were no mushrooms to be found. But then, in the last couple of days, things have changed. So there are boletes galore out here, which are one of my favorite mushrooms to find. So I'm going to work on collecting some of those today, and I've got some great ideas for recipes for those. Those are some of my favorite mushrooms to find, and some of the most desirable mushrooms to find. So there are tons of porcinis, white king boletes. I've just seen tons of mushrooms out here, so I'm going to concentrate on that today. Now here is a perfect example of what I'm talking about right here. Look at that. Now that is a perfect porcini. This particular mushroom is actually the Boletus rupriceps, which is a local variety of king bolete mushrooms here. And look at that beautiful, almost reddish cap. And these are often called rupees or rubies because of that. Well, rupriceps, a rupee, but rubies because of that almost ruby red color. I mean, another one of its super distinguishing features is that big, fat stem, that stout stipe that's there. And that is very typical of the porcini mushroom, and especially this one, the rupriceps. But look at that beautiful mushroom. We'll clean this one up here, and I'll show you how pretty that is. Finding things like this is the whole reason I love coming out here. Man, and look at that pore surface there. It's perfectly white, snow white and beautiful. This is the perfect stage of this mushroom to find to cook with. Absolutely perfect. This is called the white king bolete. Look at that. Look at those beautiful mushrooms right there. Very similar in shape, almost the exact same shape as the Boletus rupriceps. This is the white king bolete, or the Barrows bolete. But you can see it has that same big stout stem on here, big fat, which is why they call them porcinis, which means little piggy. And both of these mushrooms have that same big fat little piggy type look. I'm going to trim this one up here, and I'll show it to you side by side. All right, if we look at them side by side, now here is that Porcini, and then here is that white Porcini, the white king bolete. Look at that. Now they have a very similar shape. They have that big, fat, stout stipe or stem. Both of these have a beautiful white pore structure underneath, and this is the perfect stage to find these. Oh, amazing. So Arlo and I are going to travel down the road here. Hopefully we will find some rain, and hopefully we'll find lots more mushrooms. So Arlo and I are just going to drive around a little bit here and explore some different parts of the forest here and see what other types of mushrooms we can find. We've been lucky so far. We found quite a few edible mushrooms, so I'm going to have lots of fun at home in the kitchen. This is the aspen bolete, and you can tell by this beautiful orange cap. I mean, it's a bright orange cap, almost as bright orange as an Amanita muscaria. And sometimes when I see them from a distance, I think that's what they are. But you can tell that it is a bolete. It does have the that pore surface underneath. Beautiful white young specimen here. But this, like I said, is a Lexinum or a scaber stalk mushroom. And you can see these sort of darker lines, these sort of scaly scabers, they call them, and that's definitely a way to identify this mushroom. Now this is an edible mushroom, and you do need to be careful with this because some people do have a reaction to this. My wife can't eat this. She has a severe reaction to this one and will be sick all night if she eats any of this, but for me it doesn't bother me at all. So I don't typically collect very many of these. I collect a few of them and cook them up. But because my wife is allergic to them, I don't really collect all the ones that I find. But it is a very pretty mushroom that's popping right now. The other thing with this mushroom is that when you slice it, it turns black. And when you cook it also or dry it, it also turns black. So it's not as pretty of a mushroom in your cooking. Now this is a more immature specimen of that aspen bolete. You can see that bright orange cap, and also has those dark sort of scabers on the stipe there. And then I also found a king bolete right in the same area. And you can see the color is more of a brownish color, a lighter tan color, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it very well. So there's the king bolete with the kind of the fat, stout stem, and then the aspen bolete, which has the sort of skinny, narrow stem, which is another way to tell the difference. They are actually have a distinct look, each one of them. Alright, so there are a few mushrooms right here that I found just in this one little area. These are the aspen boletes, and these are the king boletes. So it's been a great mushroom day so far. Huh, man, this is what I love. Oh, here's an interesting one right here. Look at this bolete. Yes, that one. See that? Now that really pretty bolete here is not edible, and that red color is a distinct giveaway. We don't want to eat this one, but it is so pretty and so cool to look at. Look at the color. Let me go in the sun. Look at the color of that mushroom. That is so pretty. Once again, it has that pore surface down there, but it's bright red, and that's telling us that we don't want to eat this mushroom. But very handsome mushroom though. Look at that. There are tons of mushrooms out here in the forest, and tons of these boletes. I could show you probably 20 different types of boletes of uncertain edibility. I really try to stick to the few of the mushrooms that I'm very familiar with, that I know that I can eat and that are delicious. So, like I said, I was super excited to see that all of these porcinis were popping all over the forest here, and I had a plan that I wanted to make a French style mushroom tart with goat cheese. So that's what I'm going to do when we get back home. I'm going to use some puff pastry and goat cheese and these mushrooms, and bake it in the oven. It's going to be really, really good. So I think we're just going to enjoy the rest of the day today. Arlo and I are going to have a little hike here, so he can do some running, get some exercise, and the next time you see us, we'll be in the kitchen and we'll be making that mushroom tart. All right, I'm back in the kitchen, and I think I'm going to make that wild mushroom tart that I was thinking of making. Now, I'm going to use a puff pastry, which I got at the store, and then I'm going to make a sort of a goat cheese spread to put on the bottom, and then I'm going to cover that with the mushrooms, and then we're going to bake that in the oven. So really simple, but should be super delicious. All right, so look at this. Now there's something you don't see every day. A big bowl of beautiful porcini mushrooms. These are the Boletus rubriceps. Beautiful mushroom here. And then we also have, for my cheese filling, I have some goat cheese, I have an egg. I think I'm going to use a little of this kefir to thin out the cheese mixture. I have salt and pepper, a couple of chiltepines, of course. And then I'm also going to flavor that with some bee balm, which we collected out in the woods a couple weeks ago. And I'm totally addicted to this. It tastes so good. I'm putting it in everything. And then I'm going to also saute some of the mushrooms with some garlic and some parsley, and that's what the butter's for here. And that's it. Oh, and we also have a big cookie sheet here, and a bowl so we can mix up our filling. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these larger mushrooms, and I'm going to take this fat part of the stem. So I'm going to take the stem, the fat part of the stems, and I'm going to chop them up, and we're going to use that sort of as the base of our tart. I'll chop these up. Let's see, maybe this one. This one's a little older, so I'm going to use this one here, and we're just going to rough chop these mushrooms here for the base of our tart. And we'll do this one too. And I'll save these other nice ones for kind of the garnish. Yeah, I'll do one more. I'll do this one too. That's pretty dirty. So we're just going to, like I said, just rough chop these mushrooms up. Just like that. Okay, put those in our bowl. Alright, so now I'm going to take this to the stove, and I'm going to saute it up with butter, garlic, and the parsley. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit of butter in our pan and let that melt. And then I'm going to add our chopped up porcini mushrooms. A little bit of salt and pepper. So this is essentially going to be the base of our mushroom tart. We're going to have the puff pastry, and then I'm going to put that cheese mixture that we're going to make, and then I'm going to put these sauteed the porcinis with the garlic and the parsley, and then we're going to put that layer down, and then we're going to put a bunch of nice slices of porcinis all over the top. So we're going to have porcinis actually in two different ways. We're going to have them sauteed with garlic and parsley, and then just fresh and roasted on the top. So we have like different types of textures and flavors. And now I'm going to add this garlic, and then parsley. That's some weary looking parsley, but I'm up here at the cabin, so that's what I have. I'm just going to finish these up with the garlic and the parsley. I'm actually going to hit it with just a little bit more salt and pepper. Alright, that's it. So I'm going to take these mushrooms and I'm going to push them to the back of the stove here, turn this off, and we're going to work on the rest of our tart. And then the next thing I'm going to add to this is 1 egg. Some salt and pepper. I'm actually going to, this is the point, I'm going to put some those chiltepines. So I'm going to put a couple of those chiltepines. 3 chiltepines, that's my magic number, 3 chiltepines. Put those in there. And then some with this bee balm. That it tastes a lot like oregano, and I'm just going to crumble a good amount in here. It is super powerful, so be careful with how much you put in there, but I think that's going to really set this dish apart. And then lastly, I'm going to add a little bit of this kefir, so I think it's going to need a little bit of liquid in here to make this soft. So I'm just going to start working this around. Okay, that's the second part of our tart, and then now the last part is we need to get our dough ready. Right, so I've taken a piece of aluminum foil and I put it with sort of the non-stick side up, and then I rubbed it a little bit with butter, and then I set my puff pastry on that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to kind of score around the edges here, not all the way through. And this is where it's going to puff up on the sides. Just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect because this is going to be a rustic tart. And then I'll just kind of poke the center of it here so it doesn't rise as much in the center. So now I'm going to slice up some of these nice pretty mushrooms here really thinly, and we're going to use this to garnish our tart. See if I can get some nice slices, nice mushroom shapes. Look at that one. Oh, that's perfect, little mushroom shapes there. Let's see. Maybe this big guy. Okay. One more. I'll do one more. So now we have our nice sliced mushrooms, and we have accumulated everything we need to make our tart. We have our mushrooms, we have our sauteed mushrooms, our cheese filling, our dough, which we scored, and then I also have a little bit of egg wash here that I'm going to brush around the edges when we're done. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is put some cheese in the center here. That. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of our sauteed mushrooms and put them on top of that. And then now I'm going to take our pretty sliced mushrooms, and then we'll start laying them around here. I think I'm going to turn it. Maybe go around a little bit here, like this. Let's see. Push this out to the edges a little. Fit a couple more mushrooms in here. That really looks okay. That looks really nice. I'm going to put a little more salt and pepper on top, just like that. And then our egg wash, I'm going to brush just around the edges, just like this. Okay. So that's our tart right there. Now I have the oven already preheated at 425 degrees, and we're going to pop that in there, and it's only going to be in there for maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Look at that. That looks perfect. That was in there for about, I'd say 22 minutes, something like that. So we're just going to let this rest for a couple of minutes, and then we'll cut a piece off and we'll try it out. Yum, looks great. All right, now there it is. That is so beautiful. Now I can't pick this up, but I can show you what it looks like. Look at that. That is our porcini mushroom and goat cheese tart. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, and it's nice and crispy. That turned out really nice. I'll get you back over here. Okay, it looks so beautiful, and it smells so nice. It smells of mushrooms. It just smells like the forest. It smells like, well, garlic and pastry and mushrooms. I guess if there was a pastry shop in the middle of the forest, this is what it would smell like. I hate to cut this. My wife isn't here, and I wanted to see what it looks like. but I'm gonna have to finish this video here, but I'll save the rest for her. But I'm gonna cut a piece off of here and try it out. So. Okay, look at that. Look how nice and perfectly crispy it is on the bottom. You have that layer of cheese, and then the layer of the cooked mushrooms with the garlic and the parsley, and then the mushrooms on top. And then I think it browned really nicely, so it looks really nice. Came out perfect. But I guess let's just get into it. It really does not get any better than that. It really doesn't. Oh, that cheese filling is so delicious. Like garlic and the goat cheese has a nice little tang to it. And then the puff pastry, of course, is perfectly crispy. You can hear that. But, of course, the star of the show are those beautiful porcini mushrooms. And the texture of those mushrooms in this tart is just, oh, they're so buttery and they're so good. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. Gosh, man. This is why porcinis are my favorite, second favorite mushroom. It depends on the day. Today, the porcini is my favorite mushroom. That is so good. Now the little tart sourness from the goat cheese and the little bit of spice from the chiltepines, it just works really well in this. Wow. I guess the only thing that would make this even better would be to serve this with a nice green salad and a little light vinaigrette. That would be perfect. That would be a perfect dinner. Nice big wedge of this mushroom tart and that salad. That would be the ultimate dinner. Wow. Makes me want to run out and get some more mushrooms, although I still have a ton of them in the refrigerator there, which I'm going to be slicing up and putting in the dehydrator so that we'll have them all winter. Oh, that's so good. That is so good. And it's really pretty too. When you have beautiful mushrooms like that and you cook them simply and you treat them with respect, oh man, how can you go wrong? It's going to be good no matter what. Wow, this turned out really, really nice. If you like this sort of thing, please please subscribe. That always helps us a lot. And please leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think about this tart. Are you going to make one? Do you have porcini mushrooms in your area right now? If you do, run out to the woods and get some and make this tart, because this is super delicious. And also, check out my mushroom playlist on my page. I have a whole bunch of recipes of different kinds using different mushrooms, and it's lots of fun recipe ideas. And then actually there's another one on there for porcini BLP, bacon, lettuce, and porcini sandwich. So check it out, and we will see you in the next one. All right, bye-bye.